Hey guys, what's up? You know what I'm doing right now? Whatever I want. You know where you do that? The country. I lived in the country off and on quite a bit over the years. Used to spend the summers tree planting in Canada, and I got a place up in the middle of nowhere. You know, as Canadians, we always have a cottage. And there's times when I go, let's just live here. And we have for months at a time. But we always get back to the city. It's hard to make money up there. You got to be a jack of all trades. The local sheriff also plows your driveway, and then he's the judge when you go to court. And then there's, you know, the corrections officers. There's only so many jobs up there, and everyone has them. But I want to just do 10 things I miss about living in the country, because I'm in the burbs now, so there's no real reason to go up there. You already got a big house, and you're not trying to escape an apartment. But here are the 10 things. I'm going to try to make it real quick. Number 1, telling time by birds. You can set your watch by it. The chickadees are out there. We got the "Oh Canada" bird. Oh Canada, Canada. The oven bird going, teacher, 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 teacher. And they have their little epochs where they're at 5:30, you know, there's these birds. And you also know when you hear birds, too, that they're eating the mosquitoes that are going to ruin your life. So it's just an absolute joy to be able to tell time with little whistling things. And by the way, speaking of birds, which I'm a big bird fan, even though I know they're dinosaurs and they're dicks who will smash some other bird's eggs so they can use the nest like starlings. But half the time they're just singing for fun. There's no territory, there's no sex, it's just like just hanging out, being the best thing ever. So I miss birds. Number 2, projects. There's always a little project you go, and you don't have to be good at anything. Like you're looking at some cupboard you made that sucks, that has no door, and you're like, I should put like a glass door on that. And then you just go to Home Depot and go, here's the measurements. I want to make like a glass door. And they go, no problem. You're going to need this, 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 and this. They load you all up. And then you go there and you just make a thing. And I'll tell you what, everyone on welfare should know this. There is no beer more delicious than when you sit down after building a fence and just look at the fence you just made. Oh, my God. It's like an elixir. You know when you're hungover and you have a beer in the morning and you go, I'm a disgusting human being and it tastes like pee? It's the opposite of that. Number 3, the smells. It's hard to articulate this, but New York stinks. It's disgusting. If it's not BO, it's sewage or some other major catastrophe going on. But in nature, there's this weird sort of perfume you get off the grass that it stays with you for days after. Like you'll be driving back to the city and you just sort of feel this euphoria. It's amazing that that these rednecks get to live in that smell. They're everywhere they go. Which brings me to going piss whenever you want. That's a rare, like when you have to go piss, say here at the studio, you get the bathroom key, you go down the hall, oh, someone's in there, oh, you go. All the women who go to the bathroom here, by the way, are constantly harassed by the Bangladeshi shipping company next to it for some reason. Don't those people defecate on the road? Why are they bitching about our bitches? But when you're in the country, you're just talking to someone, just take your dick out. Well, not in person, you don't show them your dick, but on the phone, and you just piss. Half the time, you don't even know if you pissed. You're just pissing everywhere. And by the way, it's good for the trees. Nitrogen. You shouldn't piss in the same spot every time, but if you spread it around, it's great for the garden. I also miss guns, of course. Shooting my .38. Jesus, it's loud. If you shoot a rabbit with my gun, it just ceases to be. It becomes fur and dust. And that's fun. I also love .22s. I also love BB guns. You're just sitting on the porch talking to a guy, and as he's talking, you're just like, ping, hitting the license plates that are on the woodshed. And I'm a surgeon with a BB gun these days. I could pick a bird's nose, and without hurting him, I just shoot the booger out of his nostril. Do they have nostrils? That's really fun. And having a gun, of course, in New York. I mean, a friend of mine who I had on my show, an ex-con, Michael Kimmelman, he just did a talk at a local library in the burbs, and he talked about being in prison and what it was like. He was in there for insider trading. And people were sort of like, oh, yeah, okay. And they said, and I had a gun. They took my guns away, and everyone goes, you had a gun? It's like carrying around a human head here. I mean, you go straight to jail for 5 years. There, it's nothing. I also miss blaring music. You can play music pretty loud in the city, but in the country, you can shatter people's eardrums. Like, you can make it so loud that you can hear it underwater in the pool Now I'm sounding a little bourgeois. But I've had my speaker guys come in and put speakers in the walls, and every time they come in, they go, no, not even close, guys. I want a Puerto Rican's car in my house. I want glasses to shatter. And you can do that. You can do that such that you're going for a walk in the woods nearby, just listening to Bruce Springsteen play from your house. Burning garbage is also something I really miss. Garbage is such a pain in the ass, and you got to recycle and deal with all the, oh, it's Wednesday, I got to take this out. Not in the country, just pour some gas on it, light it on fire, and you have a burn barrel there, and it's really going, and you got to burn your food or the bears will get it. And so once it gets to a certain level of, you just throw shit in there. Something about fire that's just so natural. I feel like cave love around it. And the same with like a chest of drawers. This thing keeps banging the kids' fingers. I don't want to have to lug it all the way to the dump. I know. I'll put it in the driveway, pour some gas on it, boom, it ceases to be. There's just a few little steel slats where the drawers were. You pick those up, take those to the dump sometimes. Playing with nature is also fun. It's like, you know how your desk has a lot of bric-a-brac on it and you got those little balls that go boonk, 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 boonk? That's nature. You own all of that. Like I used to pick up salamanders. By the way, if you have salamanders on your property, those red Fs, that's really good news because they have very sensitive membranes, little tympanic membranes. And if there's any kind of pollution, they're not around. So you got good water if you got salamanders and frogs. Anyway, I would take them and just put them in an aquarium and then just keep them in my house. Free salamanders. I had like 14. Sometimes they'd eat each other. Sometimes they're supposed to hibernate too. And they wouldn't hibernate in my heated house. So I would fuck with their whole world. It was kind of Mengele-esque. It was evil, but also really fun and fascinating. And then some of them were small, which is weird because they're supposed to be born as fish. Like they're born swimming. So they weren't born in there. Did they shrink because they were hungry? Fascinating. That's mine now. I just have that. I own nature. And of course, being nude. Oh, man, there's nothing like just going to check on your apple trees totally nude. Go swimming nude. You don't have to dry your bathing suit or anything. You're just nude guy. And if people come by, like some guy comes by to drop off a tree that you forgot you bought, you just go, what's going on, buddy? You got a problem with this? The Lord created this. Just walk around with your dick dangling everywhere. I mean, the kids get annoyed, but half the time they're nude too. It's just a big nude party. It's fun. And number 10, I really enjoy shooting deer with bottle rockets. Now, I know this sounds bad to the city folks, but deers are elegant rats. Louis C.K. does a great bit about this, about how when you first move to the country, you go, oh, cute, a deer. Here's some strawberry pie, beautiful rat. And then the next thing you know, they're everywhere, eating everything. So you want them off your property. You don't want to shoot them unless you're going to eat them. So you go, we're good for venison, thanks. I'm just going to shoot you with a bottle rocket. Now, I made this cool thing, like a stick, so it wouldn't burn my hand. And I could just aim it at the deer and just, it's so quiet, a bottle rocket too. And you just go, psst, and it goes, psst, and then it goes bang right next to them and they go, Jesus Christ, and they fucking leap 10 feet in the air. Oh my God, it's so fun. Oh, I forgot to mention under guns, by the way, potato guns. If you go to Home Depot, you can just ask them how to do it, and they'll show you how to make a gun where you put in hairspray and just launch a potato 200 miles. Launch it at a deer, too, if you want. Smash him in the ass with your potato. God, I miss being a redneck. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Rebel Edge, where you can find all the videos that are exactly like this one, but different.